Welcome back to Starting Point on TV RI World. Still with us, I'm Siska Becker, my partner Uli Herdi. Right now, there's the two of us in the studio, but very soon there's going to be three of us in conversation.
So we are going to talk about writing, and we have joining us live right now on Zoom is Mutia Rini. So let me do the prologue a little bit. The world of creative writing is growing. There are abundance of remarkable authors with their creative works that leave memories and insightful journey for the readers. To know more about the world of creative writing, we have Mutia Rini, the author of 10 Years Challenge and The Privileged Ones. Good morning, Mutia. Can you hear us? How are you today? Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to be able to talk to you.
Hi, Mutia. Good to have you with us.
So, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Mutia, as I understand, you have several books already, such as the 10 Years Challenge and The Privileged Ones. And your book started, some of them started digital and then it becomes a printed. Can you tell us a little bit more about your novels, what it's about, and the journey that you had writing these novels, and what does these novels means to you? Go ahead.
Thank you. So both of my novels actually based on self-discovery theme. I started writing seriously in the 2020s during the pandemic, and then I sent the manuscript to Gramedia Pustaka Utama, and then it got published first as in digital book, and then after that as in printed book. I think both of my novels want to portray the journey of self-discovery, to find oneself and to really find what your passions are, and then how can you use it to create a more fulfilling life.
Okay, now Mutia, we're very interested actually to learn more about the process of creative writing. How did you get into creative writing and make it as an outlet of your expression, as part of your self-discovery, as you mentioned earlier? Why creative writing?
I think we are all multifaceted human. We are not just one-dimensional human being. We can have a day job, and then we can have a passion project or side hustle on the evening or after we have if we finish our work. And I think I'm using creative writing as a creative outlet that I cannot really do during my day job. And then it has been interesting and fulfilling so far, and it has been connected me with a lot of interesting people all around the nations. And then one of my novels actually will get made into a movie next year. So yeah, it's been very exciting.
Really? That's exciting news. Which one, Mutia? Please give us a sneak peek. And when can we expect it to watch it on the big screen?
Yeah, so it's 10 Years Challenge. The shooting process has already been finished. And then I think we can expect it in the screen on the first month of 2024.
Oh, congratulations. That is fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about your process, learning to do creative writing. And do you think this is something for everyone? Can everyone be a good writer? And if somebody who feels like he or she is not really a good writer but wants to learn, do you have any suggestions on what to do based on your experience?
Of course, creative writing is for everyone. I think the term of good writing itself is very subjective. It's different from one person to the other. And it could be daunting to start with the spirit, oh, I have to really create a good writing. If it's a creative writing, I think you should do it for fun in the first place. I think you need to be able to enjoy it. Don't really think seriously about, whether or not it's going to be published or whether or not people are going to like it. Just do it because you love it. Like, tell stories about the things that are interested for you, that are interesting for you, and the things that you really want to tell your friends about. Everyone can start from there. I mean, we can always learn about technique and all of that, but the very important thing is that you have stories to tell.
So Mutia, did you join any communities or, took any courses probably? Tell us a little bit more about your journey in learning to do creative writing.
I do. I think I started my creative journey by myself. I think I learned from podcasts and books, and of course, learning from my favorite writers. But in the early 2021, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
I joined this Kaizen writing workshop. It was
Kaizen
led
writing
by
workshop.
David. Yeah, correct.
Ah,
And it
okay.
has huge community actually in Indonesia, and then it really helps to connect with your
Mm.
fellow riders because you can really learn from each other on the process.
Yeah.
And then riding can be a very lonely job, but if
Uh-huh.
you have a community that started with you and doing the process with you, actually it's getting better, and you are
Uh-huh.
getting better.
That is
Okay.
really interesting. I myself have been thinking about joining that Kaizen writing workshop.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh.
heard that's a workshop by Dewi Lestari, D. Lestari, if I'm
Oh.
not mistaken. Yeah,
Right.
so tell us a little bit
And
more about it in just what did you learn in that workshop?
yeah, I think we learn a very important basics on how we should build the structure and how can we execute an idea uh, into a really coherent
Mm.
writing. And then I think that's a very good place to start, especially if you are a smart writer.
Mm.
And the most important part is that it provides you with community of
Mm.
people who want to learn together with you and joining the process with you. So, you know, it's less daunting because when you start, it could be quite intimidating, right? But with friends alongside and with a very good mentor, it's become more bearable, much more bearable.
Mm.
Okay, how interesting.
Yeah.
Now, Mutia, we would love actually to learn from you what you have learned through your experiences and maybe one of those writing courses
Yeah.
that you've taken. Is there like a specific writing technique or
Oh,
writing exercise that you've developed for you that help you break through writing blocks? Writer's blocks
that is
are
interesting.
writer's nemesis,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
How do you overcome that? Is that like a specific tip you can share with us?
Yeah, I think writing blocks happens to everyone. I
Yeah.
mean, not just writing blocks; it's like creative blocks happens to everyone. The best thing that you can do when it happens to you is just to take some rest. Actually, I think it's your body and mind telling you that you need to get some rest. But it does help when you start it with a structure, with a plan. I would love to call it a plot plan. So you know exactly how your story will end and the process in the middle. So it keeps you on track. And also another tip that I can share is that we need to have a mindfulness exercise while we are writing actually, because to to produce a clear writing, you need a clear mind. And I would suggest anything that you are comfortable with, whether it's doing sports, doing yoga, meditating, or going to the nature, doing hiking. If you feel like it helps your mind becoming clearer, it actually helps your writing process.
That is so interesting. So, in the realm of self-discovery, in the realm of self-improvement, I heard people say that writing could be cathartic as well. So, how
Okay.
has writing impacts you emotionally and personally and psychologically? Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your journey as a person who's been writing and get impacted by her writings as well.
Yeah. So my in my day job, I'm a marketer in one of the oil and gas companies. So my day job has been about a lot about data processing and numbers crunching and strategic thinking. I think creative writing, fiction writing, to be exact, helps me to balance the energy. I mean, we cannot expect that our job provide all the creative outlets that we need. I believe that as a human, we have boundless energy. We need to channel into the right platform, and then creative writing actually helps people who actually have this a lot of creative energy, but cannot really channel it into their day job. So I really recommend that whether you take it as a side hustle or as a hobby, but uh, to have a platform to release your creative energy. And then actually, in my experience, it does help with my professional life as well, because with creative writing, it helps me to train myself to communicate and to think more in a good structure. And then it really helps to build a very good marketing campaign for one of the examples. So it kind of helps and balance each other to have some kind of double life like that.
Okay.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering if there's a place for journaling. Some people do journaling. Does
That's
it help?
true.
Journaling, does it
Yeah.
help in, being able to write better? And if it does, do you journal and do you do it every day? Tell us a little bit more about it.
I do. Actually, I started writing as journaling
Mm.
when I was a kid. That's a very good exercise, especially to help you clear your mind. I think journaling could be one of the mindfulness exercise that you can do alongside your writing project. It's definitely recommended to do journaling, and then I do journaling not in everyday basis, but every time when I need it, and it's been recommended by a lot of meditation practitioners. So yeah, journaling definitely helps you to clear your mind out and help you with your writing journey.
Okay, that's fascinating. And I
So
hear it is therapeutic
yeah,
actually to make a
and also I
journal.
It
heard
is,
I
it is.
heard some people say that when you do journaling, it's good to do it using maybe a pen or a pencil.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you tried all of these methods? Do you feel there's a difference between
Oh, instead of using
using
keyboards.
keyboard and typing and
Okay.
actually using a pen and pencil?
That's
Or
interesting.
is there any
Yeah.
difference? Do you feel?
I think you are free to use any tool that is comfortable for you. Me
Oh,
personally, I'm using a pen and book, but I know a lot of people who do journaling in their tablet using their stylus, and then also people who really type their journaling entries. And it doesn't really matter as long as you feel comfortable with it. And then
okay.
it's very, because journaling is very personal activities, of course, and then you should be free. You should feel free while doing it. So really, do it the way you are most comfortable with.
Okay. So whatever you feel
Yeah.
comfortable with, Uli, maybe like a feather quill, make
As
a
long as you let it
declaration.
out.
Exactly. Now, Mutia, if I could ask you, you've been like very candid with us. We are loving your realness when you say if you're having writer's block, just take a break. You need to have balance and so on. And I think it's important that you mention the word balance because
Uh-huh.
I think in a writer's life, it is very crucial to keep that balance between nurturing your creative spirit,
Uh-huh.
but also keeping in mind you have like deadlines,
Uh-huh.
you have to have some sort of discipline at the same time. How do you balance that between being the creative side and being the disciplined writer?
Yeah. See, this is what I learned from the workshop as well. If you plan to finish a writing project in a timely manner, you should have yourself a daily target. So most writers, we measure our progress in word count. So how many words that you produce or you write in a day. And then it's very different from one writer to another. One can write up to 2,000 words per day, and another can write for 500 words, and both are perfectly fine. I mean, your progress is really personal for you. But it is important to stick to that daily target
Okay.
so you can meet your overall target. So normally we already have a vision in our mind, like, oh, I want to write a novel which approximately consists of 50,000 words. It means if my average word count per day is 2,000, so I will need roughly 25 days to finish it. And actually,
Wow.
like focus writing for 25 days is not so bad, right? So I
Okay.
think it helps you to give a bracket to your project So you will not like dragging it along, and it will cost you a lot of more unnecessarily time.
Okay, wow, that's great practical tips.
Yeah.
2,000 words a day. Uli, it sometimes takes me days just to do an Instagram caption. So all hats off to you,
So,
Mutia.
discipline, Siska. When it's
Yes.
time to write, you write. When it's time to take a break,
You take a break.
You know?
Like right now, let's
Like
take a
right
break
now.
for a short while. Mutia, don't go anywhere. And also to our viewers, Starting Point will be right back after the short messages. Welcome back to Starting Point on TV, RI World. We'll continue our conversation now with our guest, author Mutia Rini is still here with us by Zoom, and we are very looking forward to know more actually about how to learn from her directly and about her upcoming projects.
Absolutely. And for those of you, our viewers who's just joining us, Mutia Rini is the author of 10 Years Challenge and The Privileged Ones, the two novels. So, Mutia, continuing our conversation, we saw that you seem to have communities and classes and activities. So for people who wants to join you, what do they do? What's the schedule? How it feels like? Tell us a bit more about it.
So it's really easy to find information about this writer community, especially online. So for my community, for example, the Kaizen writing community, you can just Google it, Kaizen writing, Semut Merah Kaizen. You can also type it like that. And it's also pretty active on Instagram. You can look for it, Kaizen writing alumni. And then, of course, there's a lot of other writer community that you can join, and then you definitely can pick point which one that is more suitable for you and your process.
Okay.
I think when I did a little bit of Googling, I saw there's also Didit, the designer, is also
taking the
part of
Kaizen
the
class.
Kaizen writing.
Oh, wow.
Is it?
A lot of exciting people then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
So I assume, go ahead, go ahead.
A lot of, there's a lot of published authors already in the community. So it's really interesting because you can really learn from each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell us more about upcoming projects, future projects.
Ooh,
you mentioned about
exciting.
the book, 10 Years Challenge, that'll be turned into a movie.
Yeah.
Next year, what other future projects you can share with us so we can cheer you on and, make sure that you update us once that happens.
Thank you. So I'm currently preparing to launch my third novel. It's titled Perempuan di Rumah Nomor 8. It will be published by Gramedia as well. And it's portraying the theme of generational trauma, violence inside household, KDRT, and then the journey to healing. And then I think it's important for me to portray some of the situation that happened around us lately and to chip in my view in the form of that I'm comfortable the most, which is novel writing. So that's the upcoming project.
That's exciting.
Great.
So from these two novels, the issue was a lot about young adults. So I was curious about, what the future holds for you. Are there some issues that is close to your heart and you feel like you want to explore about it maybe sometimes in the future? And if there is, what are those issues that you would like to, explore in your next works and projects?
Yeah, I think I'm really interested to explore more about healing journey. I think a lot of all my novel has been about self-discovery, how you really getting to know yourself, and that's the very basic about becoming the better version of yourself. It's about facing your own demons. It's about facing your own insecurity. And then it has been things or themes that I'm passionate about, and I really want to continue to speak up about that.
All right, Mutia, one last question. You mentioned about self-growth. Sometimes in the journey of self-growth, you have doubts, you have this lingering minds. Am I good enough? Am I the person to do this? There might be some young writers out there who are still starting out on their journey as a writer. Maybe you can give them some words of encouragement, a little bit of tips on how they can pursue their own personal growth through creative writing. Please, Mutia.
I believe that there's no such thing as perfect writing. Even the most honored writers, those who got a lot of awards, still have doubts and still got criticized every time for their work. And then let's not be too intimidated by creating a very good or a perfect work that would be loved by many, but rather focusing on your process and whether or not you're being authentic and you really tell stories from your heart. I mean, you can always learn on the fly, but do not get too stressed. Do not burden yourself by trying so hard to be perfect. I mean, your first writing will be bad. That's inevitable. Your first work, you will not like it, and that's fine, and that's perfectly fine because that's a process, and you need to get through it.
Mutia, thank you so much for being so open and candid. Before we say goodbye, can you share us your social media handles so our viewers who wants to know more about you can follow your Instagram?
Sure, you can follow me in @Mutia Rini Muti. Mutia Rini Muti, without space.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Mutia, for sharing with us your time and your stories and inspiration. Have a great day ahead, Mutia.